Well, hello, good morning, and welcome to Here Today, Where Tomorrow in our last video of this year. I want to say a huge thank you for this entire year of support. It means so much to me that so many of you tune in and subscribe to our little adventures all over the world. In this video, I want to just do a quick year in review, go over some of our top highlights of the years, from cruising to more local things to somewhere all over the country. And we're just going to kind of give a little tidbit of information about each of these things that we did. So we'll start with a year in review, a look back, if you will, and then we'll end with a little bit of a look forward and some of the crazy things that we have planned here on the channel and beyond in 2025. So let's jump right into it. The main focus of this channel is cruising, among many other travel things as well. So let's start with the big one, cruising. Now, we did 4 cruises this year with 3 different cruise lines. We started in February, where we boarded the Norwegian Bliss out of LA for a Mexican Riviera. We had an absolutely beautiful aft balcony cabin on the Breakaway Plus ship, which honestly, the Bliss, the Breakaway, the Getaway, any of those Breakaway or Breakaway Plus ships are fantastic. There were a couple of different ports of call on that, but some of the ones that stood out was in Mazatlan. We did this pretty awesome topless bus tour, even though it was raining, and they kept telling me to put my top back on. We did have a lot of fun. And in Cabo, we enjoyed some super delicious food hanging out in their marina area. It was honestly one of the highlights of the trip for us. And you cannot talk Norwegian without talking about some of their shows. And honestly, the show 6, the musical, was absolutely phenomenal. Norwegian Cruise Lines has some of the best shows at sea, and 6 was no exception. A live band and 6 wonderfully, powerfully strong vocal women. What an absolute blast of a show. Moving on from there, in March, I joined my friends Patrick from P&B's Wide World of Ports and Jason from Memories with Facebook Jason aboard the Sky Princess for a week down to Belize, Cozumel, Costa Maya, and Roatan. We had an absolute blast. It was very interesting fitting 3 adult men and all of their camera equipment, since all of us are vloggers, in one small balcony room. But honestly, the vibe of Princess Cruise Line was quite fun. It was very laid back, live music everywhere. Even outside on their deck parties for their 80s night, it wasn't a DJ pushing buttons on a computer. It was a huge band playing some of the top hits. It was awesome. Absolutely amazing. As far as shows, Princess really does have just as strong of a repertoire as Norwegian does. The Spotlight Bar show we saw was so heavily choreographed with strong vocals, strong dancing, and an amazing live band. And there is nothing better in a show than a live band on stage. So Princess really rocked it in that area too. Now, some of the highlights for our places. Roatan. Roatan is absolutely growing. There are 2 ports in that kind of area. There's like Mahogany Bay, which Carnival Cruise Line really deals with, and this kind of port of Roatan over here. And the Coxswain Hole was kind of a hole when I first went. It really didn't have much to offer, but on this time around, they had the free pool area and so much more shopping and food. They are really building that place up, and I would be interested to keep my eye on what comes about there in Coxswain Hole and Roatan. Costa Maya, one of my absolute favorite ports because there's so many free things to do and see in Costa Maya. So if you don't have the money, or if you don't want to spend the money on doing an external excursion, you can just walk around the port area. There's so much fun things to do there. I did personally opt to spend the less than $20 to go up into their aviary, which is the bird sanctuary that they have that walks amongst the trees and tops of the buildings around Costa Maya, and I highly suggest that. The next time I go to Costa Maya, that is a must-do for me. You get such a great bird's eye view of everything happening in that port. It's a great people watching place, let alone you get to see all these crazy exotic birds. Very cool. So overall, I really did enjoy the Sky Princess, and I would definitely do another princess ship. I wouldn't suggest it for people with kids, especially if they want kind of that water park slides, heavy on the kids activity stuff. Princess really isn't that demographic, but for a 30-something who's on his own with two other dudes, it was really nice. They had a lot of hot tubs we could sit in 5 feet apart, so really cool. Then as far as cruise goes, we kind of left the summer and September came, and me and my sister jumped on the Carnival Freedom, which albeit is a smaller, older ship, but I will say the cruise director was not smaller or older. He was a young, amazing, in-your-face, high energy, absolutely murdered the vibe. I mean, this was a murder on the dance floor every time the cruise director, Todd, got anywhere near a microphone, a dance floor, anything. Todd Evans, the cruise director for the Carnival Freedom, is an absolute force to be reckoned with. And for that style of cruise, a weekend party, out of Port Canaveral cruise, he fits the bill perfectly. I mean, an absolute master of a puzzle piece for cruise directors. Some cruise directors, you really want that calm, slow, chill vibe, whereas that party vibe on a Carnival ship, I tell you what, there's nothing like it. We did go to Bimini and Nassau on the Freedom. I'm super excited about Bimini. We went to Bimini back in 2021, so like right when they were first doing cruising. So it was actually really nice to see kind of how far they've come since then. And of course, Nassau. How can we not talk about Nassau? Nassau has gone through leaps and bounds over the last few years, and I really do enjoy Nassau now. I feel like the ports of call have had to step up their game so much so that all these ports, I mean, you used to have a clear definition between what was a good port and what was a mediocre or a not so good port. Now that line is being blurred because of how much stuff they're packing in these cruise ports that are included or free or just entertaining to see. So I really do appreciate what they've done in Nassau. Now, of course, on that Carnival Freedom for my birthday, we did the Sun King Steakhouse, and honestly, that was so good. I kind of go back and forth between the specialty dining. I wish the specialty dinings were more financially approachable. The $50 per plate, the $60 per plate, things like that, it should be more like $20 or $30, if that, to be honest. But that's a personal take. I just feel like you're diminishing the all-inclusivity of the cruise when you start locking all of your best dishes behind a paywall. And unfortunately, that's the direction that cruising is going, so that makes me sad. But slightly after that, we were able to sneak on the Norwegian Jewel in October for an Alaskan cruise. We did not think we were going to be able to swing this one, unfortunately, because Katie had a work conference conflict. But at the last minute, they canceled the conference, and we were able to get a balcony on board the Norwegian Jewel, which honestly, if you're going to Alaska, I'd be hard-pressed not to get a balcony. I know they have tons of observation areas and lounges and things like that, but man, there is nothing like getting up in the morning, walking out on your balcony, just mountains, and I mean, we did the Inner Passage, and it was gorgeous. There's so much awesome stuff on an Alaskan cruise. I really do feel like a balcony is a must. Now, we did a couple of different stops. Unfortunately, Sitka got canceled due to a medical emergency, so we did Ketchikan, which of course, Creek Street was really great. We did a hike in Skagway that was absolutely awesome. Icy Strait Point, we did the gondola that went all the way up to the top which was so cool because it's such a steep ride all the way up to the top of that mountain, but the views were stunning. So that was awesome. We did a couple specialty dinings while we were on the Norwegian Jewel, and by far Le Bistro was the top. I had the lobster thermidor, and it was the best dish I have ever had on a cruise ship ever. It was so good. I literally would have paid for like 2 or 3 more. $100, $200. I would slam that credit card on the table.
Damn, what is that, bro?
It was so good. So we really did enjoy that as well. So that wraps it up for the cruises that we did, but that does not stop our adventures. In fact, we have many other adventures that we did over this year. We went to Arkansas to the Ron Coleman mine where we mined for quartz, which was so cool. Katie surprised me when we went to Knoxville and we did a whole Lord of the Rings marathon because they re-showed the original trilogy in the theaters, which was amazing. And while we were there, we did the Lost Sea Adventure, which houses an immense cavern system and the largest underground lake in the United States. And we did the Ancient Lore Village, which is a fantasy-themed resort with luxury accommodations and daily activities such as axe throwing and archery. We went to Chattanooga and met up with some friends. We did Ruby Falls, which is a 145-foot underground waterfall, the tallest and deepest underground waterfall open to the public in the US. We went to Chicago for our anniversary at Medieval Times, and we did a big bus tour while we were there, meeting up with some friends of Katie's as well. We went to Hendersonville, which is not far from our house, and did the Scottish Highland Games, which was super cool. And then locally, we did things like the Cumberland Caverns, or went around to some of these amazing waterfalls in the Middle Tennessee area. And something you haven't seen, but you will have to stay tuned for, is Nashville. I took Katie on a surprise trip to Nashville for a short weekend, and I had so many things planned. This was an absolute blast of a time, and you'll have to stay tuned for that. So that kind of wraps up our year in review, looking backwards, but now I want to look forward to 2025. Here's the big news. I am splitting the channel. In fact, I'm not only splitting one channel, I'm splitting the 2 channels I currently run into 4 channels. Yes, I will have 4 YouTube channels starting at the beginning of this year. And those 4 YouTube channels will be as follows. Here at Here Today, Where Tomorrow, we love cruising. We love cruising, and that's what this channel really has focused on. We started as full-time RVers back in the day, and we were RVing all over the country. We went to 27 states in a year and a half and absolutely loved it. But when we came off of the road, we jumped right back into cruising. So this channel, Here Today, Where Tomorrow, is gonna stay cruise focused. And honestly, YouTube's gonna love that way more than it loves it now, because when I post a video of a cruise ship and then I post a local hike, they don't know who to send the video to. And so those lines get crossed and we lose out on some of the people that may want to find this information because of the confusing videos that I post. So I'm gonna start another channel called Here Today, Where Tomorrow Local. And that one is gonna be more of our adventures here in Middle Tennessee and around the country. That's gonna be more of your family style travel adventures. So Here Today, Where Tomorrow will be the cruising. Here Today, Where Tomorrow Local is gonna be just of our more local family travels, and that's gonna be great. Now on the tech side of things, I'm gonna split my VR channel into 2 channels. One is gonna be VR focused, so it's all gonna be 360, 3D, 180 degree VR video focused. There's nothing other than immersive footage on that channel. So if you have a VR headset like a Quest 2 or Quest 3, Quest 3S, the Apple Vision Pro, any of those things, the content that I'm gonna be put out there is immersive content on From My Eyes VR, and that's gonna be specifically immersive virtual reality content. Then I'm going to have the channel taken after my namesake, Rob McNeil, and that one is going to be camera specific. If you've ever wanted to know what cameras I use for this shot or that shot, all of that information is going to be on the channel, Rob McNeil. That channel is going to be my deep dive, unboxing, reviews, testings of camera equipment, mics, setups. I'm running so much equipment across all these channels that I love diving into those details. So all of the links for those channels will be down below. So we have a ton of stuff coming out. I have so many things planned. I have taken some of the videos off of Here Today, Where Tomorrow, everything that has kind of happened this year, and I'm going to be reposting them in the Here Today, Where Tomorrow local so that they don't ever get lost, but that we can refocus this channel and start up that channel. So if you go over to the Here Today, Where Tomorrow local channel and kind of start watching those videos just to give a little boost to the algorithm, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. But now looking forward to 2025 on this channel specifically. Right now we have 2 cruises booked. I'm super excited about both of them, and I'm hoping we can sneak in a third, maybe a fourth. But right now, in February, I will be joining Facebook Jason, yes, the Facebook Jason, for a Margaritaville at sea on the Islander. We are both super excited to check out a new line for both of us, Margaritaville at sea. We have heard so many different things on both sides of the aisle about Margaritaville that we are super excited to dive into the details of Margaritaville at sea. So we have that booked for February. And then in September, we will board the Carnival Celebration to head to Celebration Key, Carnival's new private island. We are super excited to check that out. We're doing something I'm quite uncomfortable with on this sailing. We are doing an ocean view room. I know that sounds bad for me to say that I'm such a bougie balcony buyer, but for me, a person who films, having the ability to time-lapse the sunset out on a balcony is business. It's part of my business, filming these things for you, and I can't do that as easily if I'm in an ocean view. But the plus side is we're doing an ocean view in the family harbor area, which means we will have access to the family harbor lounge where they serve food all the time and they have snacks and a bunch of games and things like that. And we are right down the hallway from all of the kids clubs. So I know Madison is super looking forward to that. And I can't wait to bring all of that content to you guys, especially you with families or especially with younger kids, finding out if the family harbor area is worth the expense. It was a little bit cheaper than a balcony, but again, it also comes with so much great stuff, which we'll get into all the nitty-gritty details and things of all the things it includes on the channel in the future. But those are the 2 cruises that we have planned so far. And again, I'm hoping that maybe I can squeeze one in the summer there. I would love to get on Royal at some point. Maybe we'll go back on an MSC and check out the new Ocean Key, maybe in a yacht club. I don't know. I need to find someone that has a lot of money or wants to sponsor me to go. Please subscribe to the channel, comment, subscribe to all my channels so I can monetize all my channels just so I can afford to go on the MSC Yacht Club like one time. So anyways, so again, all the links for the new channels will be down below. Please go and subscribe to all of them. If you might be interested in some of that stuff, we would greatly appreciate it. It helps the channel out so much. Please share this video. Please like and comment on this video. Engage. Engagement is key, and I know that I have not been as good in the past with kind of getting the content out there to be engaged with. So that's something I'm really looking forward to in 2025 is going to be engaging more with the community in the places where the community is. So again, I want to say a huge thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in every week, for liking and commenting, and for sharing these videos. It really does mean the world to me, my wife, and our daughter. I love every minute of this. I love the whole process of filming and capturing these moments and giving this information to you. I love being entertaining but also informative, and if any of that stuff has rang true for you, please leave a comment down below. What was your favorite part of this year on this channel? I really would love to hear your comments down below. So without any further ado, thank you for a 2024, and I cannot wait to see you in 2025. My name's Rob from Here Today, Where Tomorrow, and we will see you there.
If you like this video and want to see more, please head on over to the channel and subscribe. And if you want to get notified, ring that little bell. We upload new videos every week.